got to plug my computer. Hold on one quick second.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I was about to shut down.
Not a problem.
We had spoken about this last time that we had kind of gone through my client's history, and you had said that you were not interested in keeping him on probation, that you would consider the minimum. And I called immediately to schedule a phone call with my client at the annex, and they told me that they would get him right back to me as quickly as possible, but the earliest date they could give me is tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
So if I could just go over this, I didn't get all of the tail of the tape, as it were. I know that my client, we had learned from the probation department that he had missed, or he had failed with 2 TAP appointments. He hadn't done any community service or drug counseling. He picked up a DWI that he pled to. He didn't report in 2018. He pled guilty to possession of controlled substance. And that's as far as we got. We never got to 2020. So I don't know what violations he would have in 2020.
Like, is the probation officer on here? Is that Ms. Garcia?
That would be me, Your Honor, Ms. Ortiz.
Oh, okay, Ms. Ortiz. Yeah, I mean, he's failed to report several times on probation. He hasn't done a lot of the treatments. It's just the probation has not worked well for him. But if you want to go over a little bit of the history, what are the problems we're having?
Yes, Your Honor. So in 2020, he unsuccessfully was discharged on July 1st of 2020 from TAP due to non-compliance. He did fail to report October, November of 2020. On March, April, May, and June of 2021, Mr. Duran also failed to report to the probation department.
And I don't think I'm sure that my client doesn't know this, but when we were in court last time that he was not here, the court was willing to consider the minimum sentence of 2 years with credit for time served. The DA was also on board with doing this. And so I was looking forward to talking with my client about it because I think it's a reasonable offer. And so I don't know if he'd be willing to take that, but I would probably ask for the Myrna Page's 30-second talk with my client if I could in a breakout room and ask him. Otherwise,
why don't you talk to him for a few moments and see if he's inclined to go that way. If not, take a longer amount of time tomorrow and go over what you want to do. I mean, nobody's trying to rush anybody, and
precisely
not trying to rush anybody to judgment on anything. But there, as far as setting a bond, it's but he is on. Is he on deferred?
He is on deferred.
So I have to set a bond, but it would have to be fairly high because, we've got, at least 3 or so times we got failures to report. So that's not a good circumstance. He'd be a very big flight risk. He doesn't show up for probation. Why would he show up for a court hearing? That's my problem.
I see that, Your Honor, and I think if I talk to my client, he may be of the same mind. He may not, and if that's the case, I will come back and ask for a bond, and then I'd want an opportunity to speak to my client, with a lengthier discussion about what we should do going forward. But if you'll give me about a minute, I can ask him where he stands on it now, and then I'll know what I'm doing.
All right. But Mr. Duran, understand that nobody's trying to rush you on anything. You'll have plenty of time to talk to your attorney again tomorrow because he's got a meeting scheduled with you. We're not in a hurry, and I will give you a full bond hearing if that's what you want. So go ahead and let them break out for a minute and see if we want to proceed on the full bond hearing, or if they want to have more time to talk about it tomorrow and get back with us next week.
60 seconds, Your Honor.
All right. We can go off live, I think.